and I think I've been able to make a significant difference to the education of the students in the district there. And I've lived in the county for 23 years, and there are some issues that I think that our current representative is not adequately representing us for in Congress. Issues like the economy, education, the environment, things that I think would really make a difference in this county, that as in this district people really need to be concerned about. And I think I could make a difference. And so it's the desire to serve my community members and to be able to make a difference. And I hope to be able to do that.
Okay, and what party will you be running for and why?
I'm running on the Democratic ticket, and the reason is that I think that the Democrats advocate a number of social issues that resonate with me. The education issue is a strong Democrat issue. Not that Republicans aren't concerned about it, many Republicans are, but it's a slightly different perspective. The environment, again, that's a strong Democratic issue, and not that Republicans aren't concerned about it, but again, it's a slightly different perspective. So I think that a number of these social issues resonate with me more from the Democratic perspective than a Republican's perspective.
In your life so far, what would you say has prepared you for this election?
I think that serving on the Oak Park School Board as an elected representative, I'm in my second term currently, and so I've learned how to work with a team, learned how to govern, and that's really important because you need to have a sense of what are the things that you're not going to compromise on, but where you're going to compromise. And in governance, it's always about working with other people to come to a solution that we can all live with. I think also as a professor at Moore Park College, I've had an exposure to a lot of different departments in a lot of different areas, and so coming in from education, I tend to reflect on the issues and think about the issues, and I think that's real important to be willing to consider various options and talk to people and be able to listen. Working with students, you have to listen, so listening is a key part of it. So I think those two. Having lived in the district, I think is important. I know the people in the district, I know the issues in the district.
And personally, how do you feel about the healthcare reform problems going on in America currently?
I think most people agree that we need some sort of reform. Personally, I favor the public option. I really think that we need something that is going to cover everybody, and asking private insurance to take care of that isn't going to work, so I really think that we need a public option. And the disagreement is exactly what are we going to have and how are we going to get there. I don't think the disagreement is should we have change. I think everybody's pretty much agreed that the status quo is unacceptable. We cannot have so many people that are uninsured. And I think that the discussion is such that we're getting there. And I mean, that's what we really need, is to have a discussion, an open discussion, and the town hall forums that are happening. I think are really important. It engages people and it gets people to think about the issues. Well, what about this option? What about that option? What would be the implications? So I think it's great, and I think we're going to have some change, and we'll see what works. What we start with probably won't be what we end with, and so it will be a work in progress, and that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, and what would you find to be the most efficient way to help get California out of its deficit?
The most efficient way to get California out of its deficit. I think if there was an easy answer to that, then our legislature would have grabbed onto it a long time ago. There's a number of significant problems. I think that most people agree that the 2/3 majority to pass a state budget is a strong hindrance towards moving towards any real change. So if it was me and I had all the power in the world, I would change that 2/3 to a supermajority. I think that would make a huge difference to being able to get a balanced budget. And I think most of the representatives are willing to work towards a common solution. It's just, how do you get there? There's a number of different ideas floating, from let's throw out the entire Constitution, which I don't think we should do, to, any of the other variety of things. But I think the big thing is changing the 2/3 that's needed for a budget. That's the first step.
Okay, and as a member of Congress, would you agree that we should continue to raise tax on California taxes?
Should we continue to raise taxes? Right now, people are stretched to pretty much their limit. One of the reasons that we cannot continue to raise taxes is, your average American is hurting, trying to cover college expenses, trying to cover mortgage expenses, trying to cover health care. So what we really need is not to raise taxes. What we really need to do is get a handle on some of these things that are out of control, such as the increase in health care. If we could get a handle on that, then people would have the money that they could pay the taxes that we already are assessing. Another area of concern for me is the military budget and the war deficit. I mean, we're spending a tremendous amount of money on the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. And I think we need to ask, what are we getting out of it? What benefit to either this country or even those countries is all the money that we're pouring into that? If we could take some of that money and pour it into this country, we would have more than enough money to deal with the significant social issues of education and healthcare, and a number of other things as well, the transportation issues. So, no, I don't think we should continue to raise taxes. I think we should prioritize things and really take a look at where are we spending the money, and is it giving us what we really want. So look at the national agenda.